Well, hello, Nick. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. Good to see you, man.
Great to see you guys.
Oh, so
How's the family doing?
Well, doing well, doing well. My big boy is about out. The younger boy is doing eighth grade this year at St. Bernard's,
oh, okay.
Playing ball?
playing a lot of ball,
Yeah.
getting
Okay.
really serious now.
Good, good.
Good. Well, we definitely could not leave you out of the celebration of JR's 19th birthday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right.
19. That's
Can
crazy.
you imagine?
Yes.
Crazy.
Mike's biggest thing he's been saying is,
Yeah.
I just wish I could see what he looked like at 19.
Yeah.
He's really baffled. Every year it's been that, but this year I think it just hit him a little differently. Like, what does 19 look like on him?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like when he started to look like a man, Like what did he look like as a man?
Yeah. Exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go in for the jugular because this is one of my memories that I have that I kind of just want to lead with because it was heavy on me to watch you go through the loss of JR. And at the time that we lost him, again, no one was as close to him as you were. You were his para at the time, but it's like that title didn't even make sense for you when it came to JR.
It was definitely secondary. It was definitely secondary.
Exactly. So, but I just remember at his homegoing service when you went up to give up your words and you said how much he had meant to you, and you broke down a little bit and you said, what am I going to do without him? He was my best friend. And I just will never forget that and the impact that it had on me. And I just wanted to squeeze you so tight. In fact, when you came down, I went straight to you. I'm like, if anything, you were his best friend too. And there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. And I say, and I lead with that because I really want to share some of the experiences that you had with him. And I just wanted to kind of line that up so people can truly understand. For example, Mike Sr. and I were talking earlier this week when we were trying to put this together. And I was like, it's crazy to me. He's like, what, babe? And I said, the fact that I wondered if JR felt like he had less than of experiences than a normal child, because he was special needs. And then I laughed after I said it because I said, yeah, he wasn't lacking anything. He wasn't lacking anything at all because he had Nick. Because we've gone roller skating with him. And we're like, come on. And he's like, no, I'm going to sit right here. Y'all have fun. And so, we would always tag team. One or the other was always with him. But, that's how we kind of lived our life. But for some odd reason, when he was with his bestie, he would come out of his shell and do things that we never would have experienced with him. And when you told us, I can't even remember one of the first things that you told us that he did, we were in awe. Like, what? Like, he did what? Like, he would never do that with us. Like, we don't understand. And so I asked you, can you please next time just get a quick photo or a video, just so we can see it? And you said, absolutely, no problem. And between you and Chrissy, it was crazy that she would get the video of you guys together or whatever it is you were doing. So when I mentioned the skating, I still have this photo somewhere. I know it's in my phone, but it really, hold on, I'm so sorry. Okay. It really was the fact that you sent us the photo with him on the skates. I think Chrissy took it, but you had his hand and he was on skates in the middle of the skating rink.
Yeah, that was cool.
Right?
That was real cool. Yeah, that was like, wow. Wow, it was really cool. Yeah.
And even, I know you also sent us a video of him at a trampoline park. and we all knew that he loved to jump, but to see the fun, you know, he wasn't limited to this little space that he was used to jumping on, you know, the little trampolines at school or at home. And having him on that big trampoline and you shooting that video over, I mean, we were like, wow. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
15. Yeah, we had a great time all the time, but it was just a level of trust that we had with each other. You know, like he knew that no matter what, I wasn't gonna let him get hurt, but he also knew that I was gonna make sure that he had a blast.
Yes.
And like to this day, I'm this. You know, I met Mike 12 years ago, and to this day, I'm at a therapeutic school now. You know, like so. Like I opened up some opportunities for him to do some fun things, but he changed my life. You know, like, you know, I look at things completely differently after having a relationship with him. And like, you know, throughout the day right now, like there comes up once or twice a day where I'm like, man, what would I have done if this was Mike in this situation? You know, how would I have handled it if this was Mike? So like he's a part of me every day still. You know, so you know he didn't completely leave. You know, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way too. You know that some of the stuff that you guys still do daily is based on stuff that you learned from being with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. Share with us one of your most favorite memories with him.
Probably my favorite times with Mike were probably in the pool.
Oh.
Okay. I like Mike in the water.
Yeah.
He comes alive.
At first he was, at first he was, he stayed super close and, he wanted me to be right there the whole time. And then, I really appreciated it because it was something that I could see almost daily, like him getting a little bit further away and him getting a little bit further away. Like he's still engaging me the whole time, but he doesn't need my hand there. You know what I mean? He knows that, I'm in the area and he's in a safe place so he can just be Mike, And those were probably the best times I had with Mike was when he was able to just be himself. He didn't have to worry about rules. He didn't have to worry about expectations, where he could just have a blast, So the pool is probably my favorite spot to be with Mike.
Wow. And you shared a little bit. I was just wondering if there is anything succinct that really resonates with you that Michael taught you specifically. You shared that you when you have a rough time that, what would you have done with Michael? Is there anything else specifically that you feel he taught you or impacted you with?
I think that I had, I'm a pretty empathetic person naturally. But I don't think I had anywhere near the connection with mental health issues and learning delays and stuff like that. Like those were always like something off to the side that people mentioned, but I didn't really have an experience with. And then experiencing those things with Mike was like a light bulb moment where it wasn't, this is some huge difference that he had. No, it was just, that just happened to be his obstacle. So when I go out into the world and I see, people handling things differently, it's not always because they can't do it. It's just that happens to be their obstacle. We all have them and they look different for everybody, but we all have obstacles that we got to get through, and those just happen to be his. And I seen him defeat those things, over and over and over again. So, when I see other people with obstacles out in the world, I never feel like they can't get through them or they can't beat them because I watch them do it over and over and over.
Wow. Well, I remember, I'm just going to share this with you. I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but I remember when Chrissy went to Corrine and said after a bad experience that we had with the para, I think Nick will be great with Mike Jr. And Corrine kind of was like, I don't think so. We're not doing that. And then Corrine thought about it some more, and then she brought it to me. And she said, "So what do you think?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "Well, go home, talk it over with Mike, and let me know what y'all think. It's totally up to you guys." And at that time, we had seen you around at family events and stuff, but we didn't really know you. And but I was observant as well. That's what I will say. So when I went home to talk to Mike Sr., he is his son's father. He was like, "No, not happening." And I said, "Okay, let's think about it. First of all, he needs a para, period. Secondly, he's volunteering." I said, "But thirdly, what really touched my heart was, life is hard enough by itself sometimes. Life is hard without obstacles, as you shared. Life is hard without obstacles. And to have obstacles really shows who a person is. It shows what they're made of. It shows what they're capable of and what's possible." And I know that you all had a child that had obstacles. And I was like,
Yep.
"Dear, I need you to think about this." I said, in our experience with our family, people come and go on a regular basis. I said, "This man has stayed."
Yep.
He has stepped up with his son, and I don't see his son's obstacle because of how he's raising his son. And he sat there and he thought about it and he said, "You know what? I trust you on this one." And you're right. That was true.
See, at the time, it had nothing to do with you, Nick. It was just at the time with that
No, not no.
paralegal, the paralegal, the para that we had. Whatever thing that she did just kind of pissed me off, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna have nobody deal with my son unless it's the teacher, Miss Dooley, and that was it. So, so it was nothing against you at all. So it had nothing to do with that. It was just
I definitely wouldn't take that. And the funny thing about that is that the things that I thought I was bringing to the table ended up being the things that I needed the least. So what I was looking at was how big the lady was. And I'm like, that lady's scared for her life. You know what I mean? Like Mike gets, he gets aggressive. That lady got to worry about whether she's going to get hurt or not. Yeah. I was thinking, I'm big. I don't got to worry about that. Right. So that was my mindset. What I didn't realize was that the stuff that I needed was going to be the patience and the empathy. And those were the things that I ended up, those were the tools that I ended up using way more than the stuff that I thought I was bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Yes. And let me tell you, you truly were pure perfection at that with Mike. You were amazing with Michael. And there's select few, and some of the ones that were. Actually, all the ones that we felt really had that impact on him, that had that finesse, if you will, with Michael, because you kind of had to have a certain finesse with him, with that patience, And those are the ones who we really wanted to include today with Michael's celebration for his 19th birthday and our hashtag Impact 19, because you put a whole nother spin on it. And you would let him run. Okay, you want to run? Go ahead. And it was like Michael knew, even if he bolted with you, he knew how far he could go. And then he needed to bolt right back to where you were. And you gave him that freedom, that range. And that was just amazing. Amazing. You are something special, Nick.
Yeah. I always thought that was the biggest thing. Like everybody wants that freedom. Everybody wants to make their own decisions. And the more decisions I could give them to make, the more freedoms I could give them, the better our relationship got.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely.
How you doing?
So, so anyway, Nick, we appreciate you taking the time today and, getting on the call with us and celebrating Mike Jr.'s 19th birthday. And we want to send you one of our shirts from our foundation. This is what it looks like. Actually got it. We have them on right now.
That's awesome.
So we want to send one to you. So you have that, and on behalf of the foundation. So, and We appreciate
That's
you.
awesome. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, we appreciate,
and thank you guys very much. Not for this phone call and not for the T-shirt. You know what I mean? Thank you guys so much because you sharing your son with me definitely changed my life.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
We appreciate. We love hearing that, man, and we appreciate you. I'm glad we had the opportunity to have you in his life because you made a big difference. You were
huge
very
difference.
impactful, and I knew if you were around, he was good. Between you and Miss Doolin, I knew that was it at school. I was like, yeah, he's good. But I know you actually went above and beyond because
Absolutely.
you're part of your family. So you spent a lot more time with him than most of us, even us as parents. We spent a lot of time with him, and you were able to get him to do things that we couldn't. So I mean, that's significant.
That just made me think about the fact that they almost didn't want to include JR in the summer program because of his special needs.
Yeah.
And you stood up for him as his advocate and said, "I know we're good. We're good. If I'm here, I got him.
Yeah.
We're going to do everything everybody else is doing." I was like, "What?" And you were like, "Yep, we're going to do everything everybody else is doing." I'm like, "Well, I trust you, so go do you."
Yeah.
So thank you also, again, for giving him those experiences that it's almost like he didn't trust us to have him with him.
Yeah, no.
But
you guys were just the parents. You know what I'm saying? You don't do the same thing with the parents that you do with your bestie.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got you.
But I'm so grateful for you in that realm because he was able to feel like a normal kid. So thank you, Nick. We will always treasure you. You will always be our champion for Michael in a whole nother level. We really appreciate you and what you gave.
Now you
Thank
still
you guys very much.
there too, right?
What was that? Sorry, go again.
You have family down here still in Florida?
I do.
You do?
I do.
All right. Nice.
Okay. Well, we can't wait for you to come down so we can see you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
We'll definitely look.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much again, Nick. We greatly
Love you guys.
appreciate you. Love you too. Take care.